Don't miss some cool products for transporting your miniatures around the store and tournaments. Spacking Bits. What's up, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Baer back again with you today, taking a look at some pretty nifty MDF products that, or maybe they're not MDF, I forget. There's a different type of wood that is very similar to MDF. Either way, it smells like a campfire, right? Am I right? But these products are produced by Mini Duels, D-U-E-L-S, like you see right there. Of course, miniduels.com. They're out of Florida, Winter Park. I believe it's a suburb of Florida, if I remember my spring breaks of yesteryear correctly. I'm going down to Universal Studios and stuff. But regardless, they got some really cool options for carrying around miniatures, whether it's you know, at your house, at a tournament, at the game store, whatever. A lot of different type of options that are customizable to what you play. You can see here, this is definitely War Machine of Hordes because you can tell it's a rounded lip cutouts, but this particular product right here definitely can be for just about anything. I mean, let's see. It definitely holds 40 mils, and then inside there is probably the rounded lip. I don't have any privateer press figures on me that are assembled. There's some 32, or there's a 25, so we know that's 32 millimeter right there as well. So this will hold a lot of miniatures, you know, some reference cards and things that are integral to privateer press, of course. Now there's two different ways. This particular product, this is their Deluxe Tray, I believe it is. But what's cool about it is it's a tournament tray on top, and they actually sell this separately. So it's a little tray. You can just carry this around, you know, to paint it up if you want. It definitely will hold paint. Which shouldn't be any issue with that. And there's a bunch of different varieties of ones you can choose from over on their site. I think the tray itself runs about $50. And like I said, there's ones for just about anything out there, and you can pick from a bunch of different varieties. And then the underneath, which is called the tray bottom, also goes together. You can see where they've used some glue to kind of glue it in. You can use a white glue, you can use wood glue, whatever you want. But this gives you some compartments. This will fit your 40K rulebook, I'm sure. That looks to be about the same dimensions here. You've got some spots for like those larger data cards and tokens and whatever else you want in here, like dice and all sorts of things that are in here. Now, let's take a look. This is roughly 20 inches long by about 15 inches tall. And it is definitely 3 1/4 inches high, but take off that quarter and say 3 1/2 because there's a lip underneath that is unusable. Now the tray bottom too, you can pick up from them. I think it's $40, and it's got these little handles right here. And all in all, it seems, you know, pretty sturdy. I mean, obviously you don't want to drop anything on concrete. That's the world ender for a lot of things, but it definitely seems pretty sturdy once you get it put together. You know, it is a cut wood kit that does have to be glued together, but honestly, it's once you lock these things in, it's not very hard to get it together right there. So if you just want a tray, you can always pick up a tray, and then later on, if you want to pick up the bottom, definitely could pick up the bottom and kind of go from there. I actually want to grab my 40K rulebook and see if that fits. Okay, so I went and grabbed all the things. We've got my dice bag, which definitely fits in there. You can put tack template type things. I think I even could put a tape measure in here. That looks pretty cool. We got codex books. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's perfect. Look at that. And data cards. Boom. Got it all right here. Let's try to lift it up. It doesn't seem too bad. It's centered. The weight's centered right in the middle. That's pretty cool. That definitely works. I'm digging that. That is pretty sweet. Okay, well that's cool. So $50 for the bottom, and I think they had a sale going when I was pulling up all the information on these products. They had a sale going and stuff was like 20% off. Not sure if it's still going by the time you see this video, but the code was clearly marked on their site, so you might want to check that one out. So $50 for the bottom. The tray, like I said, there's a bunch of different varieties, but depending on which one you get, they all lock into the bottom in case you ever want to come back and get that bottom and then walk around with all your minis, set it down on the table, get all your stuff off it, and then boom, you've got all your things. Don't have to worry about picking all the other things up because they're all underneath it, and I like that particular product. Now there's a couple more of them. Let me pull this off here, set this down. leave it open a little bit just so we can grab those rule books for quick reference, and I imagine we're going to need this tape measure. So they've got this other one, which I thought was definitely a very cool option as well, depending on what you want to go with. This, I think, is their Deluxe Tray. What is this thing called? This is the Deluxe Tray. Again, you can get a bunch of different inserts to kind of go into it, but one of the things that's really neat, and of course I don't have the thing to show you because I didn't pick up the product, I didn't realize what all it did. But first off, you've got these little inserts that lock into here, which I thought was pretty neat. So you got this piece, be very careful, it locks into here, do not glue this piece in. Then you can pull out your inserts, but what's cool about it is there's a gap between where this goes, and what that is going to do is allow you to put, there's a small tolerance gap once you lock these in, and I'll show you why that's important. So once you lock that in, you can pull this up and you can see there is roughly about 1/8 of an inch gap right underneath there. And what that gap is for is you can put a steel panel right here, or a tin, or something that is ferrous and is magnetic, of course. And now you see where I'm going with that. You put the steel tray in here, or panel, now you can put magnetized miniatures in here, slot them in, paint this up, have it all looking fresh and dope. And obviously they have a bunch of different inserts here. Again, they've got the 40 mil, which looks awesome. They've got a 40, that was the 40. So they do have a 25, but I don't think I got it, did I? That might be this one right here. Let's try that. That might be, nope. I didn't have a 40, they're all 32s. But they have lots of different ones, like here's a 50. So if you're all about some of the bigger models these days, they got you covered there. Some combo ones, some 40s, some 32s, some 50s. And this looks like the larger kind of round ones that things like the Onager and different things are come mounted to. So pretty neat little feature, but that's not where this stops, because you're probably like, wait a minute, that thing is pretty tall. What the heck? What is that all about? So first off, let's check some measurements here. So we got 18 by about 12. Okay, not too shabby. That's pretty decent. You can definitely fit a lot of miniatures on here, and they have all sorts of inserts. You can pick whatever insert you want. We just got a smattering of them. It's no big deal. But what's cool about this is it's got these little slat out trays that are kind of like a fishing tackle box, because, or like some of those Plano cases. So you can put the little dividers in here however you want. You can put in your data cards, any game aids or anything like that, tokens, dice, things you want to roll for like different particular things. You know, they've got objective tokens right here, which are pretty slick. They're 40 mil, 2 double-sided, and one's got the logo, one's got the number, so if you need to do like hidden deployment, but you can hide all of that stuff in here. It's got double drawers, so you can kind of customize it, put whatever you want in there, whatever extra weapons or anything you might need, and boom, carry it on down to the game store. It doesn't have the top that lifts off, and it is a different size from this lid that I show you. It's not gonna dock on there. This is kind of a self-contained kind of storage solution, I guess, from them. So just kind of keep that one in mind right there. Now this deluxe case it runs for $80, but again, there is a sale going on right now. Have no idea by the time you're listening to this if it'll still be going on, but check it out. It is directly on their site. They had the little code right there. Alright, so let's jump in and show you some of their other stuff. A couple other things. They do have a ton of acrylic options here. They made this kind of space gun. We'll call it a space gun. So it's got a 1-inch divider, 3 inches back here, and then you got 6-inch increment here, and I think that's an inch, so that could be 5 inches if you wanted to. But I'm sure once you get a measure in this thing, you will notice that it is a lot of different convenient measures there for, obviously, you know, unit coherency and piling in and 1 inch away and all sorts of cool stuff in 8th edition. They've got all sorts of token packs. They got these bad boys here, these mechanical ones. They got chaos ones. Again, the numbers are on one side and the back is either a logo or something to do with their name right there. I think they're pretty cool. These would paint up really nice. And last but not least, as far as the hobby goes, they have some pretty cool paint racks, and here's one here's an example of one right here, which is pretty robust. I mean, it's got 8 across, 4 down, so you got a decent amount here. It's pretty affordable, MDF, you know, or whatever wood it is nowadays that these companies are using. It's all glued together. Now, dimension-wise, you're talking about 12.5 by about 9.25 right there. So it's not too big, but also not small. It fits the G-Dub Citadel style paints right into there. Looking pretty fresh, right? So that fits in there. It also fits the P3. And for that matter, they're gonna fit a lot of other bottle type paints right there. And then of course, you could also put in eyedropper bottle ones, but you're gonna see that the spacing's kind of off. But what you might wanna do, because they put this convenient little hole right here, is boom, you can store them upside down for easy use and keeping them, you know, every time you grab it, maybe turn it upside down or turn it not. And there's some convenient notches right here in the side as well for your paintbrushes to lock into. And then theoretically, I suppose you could even put them in here like this. It looks like, no, they're gonna fall out. Yeah, that's not really gonna work. So it looks like it's only one way. It's the riser kind of goes like this. But they've got different options for it. You can build it out, put it all the way around. It's not acrylic, but it is pretty cool and it's affordable. So, you know, there's always something to be said for it. Because I'm always like, wait a minute, does that thing used, you know, I see these paint racks, so I'm like, okay, is that dropper bottles? Is that GW bottles? And it's always like one or the other. So this is a really cool in between, in my opinion, for both of them, because they all three kind of fit in there snuggishly, depending on how you're doing it. Except for down here, this isn't really gonna work, so don't really put those there at the bottom. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool. So lots of cool hobby products from Mini Duels. Like I said, miniduels.com. Currently, they have a sale going on. Again, I don't know if that's going to be a thing that is still going when you guys go over there. So, you know, we have a little bit of delay in the content here, getting it out, but lots of cool products over there. If you're looking for some custom MDF solutions or cut wood solutions for your army and your hobby, you definitely want to check them out. Very customizable, and they even have versions that go in bags and stuff like that. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed my review of some of these awesome hobby products from Mini Duels. Make sure you turn on, or give us a subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on these posts.